Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. As you know, I have a head cold, but you might be wondering about this. If a nuclear war breaks out, which U.S. cities would be targeted first? Following the end of the Cold War, the world breathed a sigh of relief when the two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, did not destroy each other with nuclear fire, and much of the remaining planet with nuclear fallout. And for the ensuing 2 decades, there has been much concern, generally speaking, about a nuclear World War III breaking out. There has been concern about so-called rogue regimes like North Korea and Iran developing nuclear bombs along with the capability of delivering them around the globe. But as for nuclear power, nuclear war, no one really gave that much thought until recently. In the last few days after President Trump fired the missiles on the Syrian airbase, Russia and Iran issued a joint statement asserting that red lines have been crossed, and they would respond forcibly to any new attacks, no matter who launched them. And that got us thinking. Would Russia launch World War III over Syria? Quite possibly, given its strategic and financial interest there. Whenever the economies go to poop, there's always war. You have to admit there's a lot of money that they make from war. So that leaves the next question. What U.S. targets and cities would Russia most likely attack? That would depend largely on the strategic outcome Moscow sought. For example, if Putin decided to first hurt the U.S. militarily and limit our ability to counterstrike, the most likely targets would be our largest military bases and nuclear mission facilities. Nuclear mission facilities would include ground-based missile silos, nuclear-armed submarines, and bases with nuclear-capable bombers like Whiteman Air Force Base in mid-Missouri, home of the B-2 stealth bombers. But Putin could also decide that it would be better to hit major American cities instead, including, in no particular order, Washington, D.C. This is a map of the blasts and the fatalities. New York City, same thing, a map of the blasts and the fatalities. Chicago, Los Angeles. We also have Dallas, Fort Worth, Miami, Seattle, Houston, Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. Also is Phoenix, Tampa, St. Louis, Minneapolis, Boston, and Atlanta. This would be devastating both in terms of casualties and long-term economics. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, though major American cities comprise less than 4% of the country's land mass, they are home to nearly 2 in 3 Americans, 62.7% according to March 2015 figures. Of those, the congested East Coast would make a far more tempting target, given that cities with the largest land areas are mostly in the West and have fewer people per square mile, the Census Bureau said, adding that population density in cities is 46 times higher than in the territory outside cities. Very tempting targets indeed then. But then striking American cities would have a multiplying effect. For cities that were spared, residents would no doubt panic, leading to widespread chaos and even more death and destruction. Smaller cities of 1 million, 500,000, even 100,000 people would quickly degenerate into mayhem as the national government fought mostly to save itself, though a strike on Washington, D.C. would most assuredly take out the bulk of the federal government. Even a single nuclear strike could cause widespread pandemonium in American cities that were not targeted. In addition to traditional military targets, which would no doubt be part of Russia's nuclear strike plan, the largest American cities will certainly be on the list as well. It's all food for thought, as the world once again appears to be on the brink of widespread death and destruction. And you can read more about the radiation fallout, terrorism, war at radiation.news. Well, are you ready? Are you prepared? Better safe than sorry. Always be prepared was the Boy Scout motto. For your thoughts and comments down below, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.